You're watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. It is January basketball as we get ready for WAC action tonight. It's women's hoops in Abilene, Texas. Sam Houston and Abilene Christian. And now welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle with Joseph Chapa. Glad to have you with us. Happy New Year to you as we can't wait to bring you some WAC hoops tonight. Well, these are some longtime rivals that get together. It's always fun when Sam Houston and ACU lace them up.
And nothing says an all-time rivalry than physicality. That's what we're going to see here tonight. Both of these teams are some of the best rebounding teams in the country. Look for a defensive effort combined with some good perimeter shooting. Yeah,
I can't wait to see this. There's a lot of talent on the floor. Let's go to our impact players. Sam Houston and ACU. China Allen at the guard spot. Addie Martin inside for the Wildcats.
China Allen, fourth in the WAC in scoring. She does it all in the half-court setting. If she can get up and down the floor in transition, be careful for the opposing defense. And for Addison Martin, the medical redshirt last season, comes in this season as the defensive anchor, the woman in the middle for the Wildcats. Look for her to lead the rebounding and physicality.
And away we go. Sam Houston and Abilene Christian, these two longtime rivals, get together on the first Thursday of 2023. Bearcats will have it. Glad you're with us tonight. Off we go from Abilene, Texas. The Bearcats will start with it. Sydney Kemp, China Allen, who we highlighted, Kaylee Jefferson, Renee Smith, and Alexis Seaton. It's a good starting five that is coming off of a 92-point performance last Saturday in the win over Seattle. Early possession. Seaton tried to do a little too much on the reverse. Out of bounds it goes. ACU will have it for the first time.
And we had a shoe on the court just laying there near the free throw line. Again, you talk about the high scoring of both of these teams, specifically with Sam Houston, 92 coming back down 11 against Seattle U. But again, the physicality factor, we're seeing it here in a full court press to start the first quarter. You don't see that in a lot of college games.
And this team that turns you over 18 times a game, Sam Houston, and they get the takeaway off the press, and Sydney Kemp is able to convert it to make it 2-0. More pressure against this ACU offense. The Wildcats starting five: Aspen Thornton, Bella Earl. You see Addison Martin turning and scoring inside number 12, along with Malia Langstaff and Maddie Miller.
And Addison Martin, she does a great job at winning the position battle, utilizing those one-on-one matchups down low.
That almost went home for Allen, who's been spectacular this year. The guard to transfer out of Nichols. Now in her first year with Sam Houston, she will head to the line. But there's a lot to talk about the Sam Houston team. They only had the one. They were off on the opening night of WAC play, but they came back Saturday, 92 points. This is a really good offensive team.
It's the first game of the new year in 2023. And Zach, again, you start off with 92 points in your WAC opener, but you're also known as a defensive team. So what are the Bearcats really? I think we're going to find out more, especially here against an ACU team who's also trying to find out, are they defensive, are they offensive? We'll see here tonight.
This starts a stretch of 4 out of 5 on the road for Sam Houston early on in the calendar year. A 4-2 start after Allen made both free throws. 78% free throw shooter. Abilene Christian coming off of a 1-1 opening weekend of WAC play. Malia Langstaff for 3. That's off the back iron. And no good. Still trying to figure out kind of what the Wildcats are as well. A tough road win at Tarleton, and then they came up just short at Stephen F. Austin.
Very competitive matches on the road, and then you come home, back-to-back home games. So you say to yourself, if your coach good enough and the coaching staff, you split the road game. I think that's a huge plus for them in the program. Let's see what they do here against Sam Houston to set the tone here in Moody Coliseum.
Seaton no good. And we take a peek at Raven Justice, head coach in year number 5 with Sam Houston. I'm talking about 70 wins. 65 wins coming into the year is the second most in your first 4 years of any coach in Sam Houston history. She's really done a remarkable job in Huntsville. It's Aspen Thornton now. As ACU tries to respond, trailing by a deuce early on. And it's Thornton, who scored 20 on Saturday in a loss to Stephen F. Austin, no good. Allen a chance to run. We said a good rebounding team, a team that loves to run, a team that turns you over. On the other side, Julie Goodenough, year number 11, 206 wins in her time with ACU, and she's 5 wins away from 500 in her 29-year coaching career.
Zach, I'm sure we'll be back on the broadcast one of these nights throughout this season, and we're going to have a graphic. We're going to talk about the legacy of Coach Goodenough once, if she reaches 500 career wins. You talk about the coaching battle, Coach Justice, Coach Goodenough. I mean, who's a better mentor and coach to learn from than Coach Goodenough or Coach Justice? For Coach Justice's first year, the 2019 Southland Conference Coach of the Year, that was her first year inheriting a Sam Houston program that didn't really know what they were on the hardwood. And now, I mean, we talk about it. One of the best rebounding teams in the country, good defensive team. Let's see what they do here on the offensive side of the ball.
Meanwhile, Sam Houston already 4 trips to the foul line. They've had over 250 free throw attempts already this season. High volume at the stripe as they've been the last couple of years. Thornton trying to rile one up, and now Maddie Miller. She hit 6 threes on Saturday, a career high. No good here. ACU 1 for their first 4 from the field.
And the way Sam Houston's playing their defense, kind of a hybrid zone to man in that little in-between area. ACU has to do a great job at moving the basketball, getting the ball to the wide open shooters.
Abilene Christian swept Sam Houston last season. Sam Houston swept the year before. Loose ball. Should be a tie-up. It is. It'll go to ACU. And we were talking about coming on the air. That goes down as a turnover for Sam Houston. They are turning teams over at a ridiculous rate, 18 times a game. They're also turning it over 18 times a game, so they're getting into some sloppy games throughout the course of the season.
Zach, I once had a youth coach tell me that if you take care of the basketball, it will take care of you. I think that's true on all levels. Now, I know I was a 12-year-old playing the game. I was turning the ball over a lot. But you talk about NCAA Division I basketball in one of the best mid-major conferences in the country. If you take care of the basketball, more offensive possessions. And we'll start to see here tonight in Moody Coliseum, maybe it'll enter that 80 to 90 range in the scoring column.
Thornton no good. 4 subs out there right now for Sam Houston. Allen, the lone starter. She's out there with Michaela Woods, Michaela Edens, Madeline Bautista, and Brianna Block. A lot of subs early. Charge. That's an offensive foul. Time for our keys to the game, presented by your Greater Texas Ford dealers. Joseph.
We talk about Sam Houston, get everybody involved. In their win in the WAC opener against Seattle U, they had 6 players in double digits. That's almost unheard of, and you want to maintain your early momentum. In that Seattle U game, they had 6 points in the second quarter compared to the 27. We talk about ACU back to rebounding. If you watch the Coach Julie Goodenough press conference on Monday, she talked about getting back into crashing the glass and feed the hot hand to Aspen Thornton. She's been averaging and playing a lot of her best basketball over the past couple games. Let's see if she can continue that here.
Bearcats with the early lead and another turnover. But then ACU gives it right back up. This is the kind of game Sam Houston plays, and Alexis Seaton leads it in for 2.
Just establishing the tone early on the defensive end, putting the pressure on ACU to make quick decisions like this one right here.
ACU trying to get going at this end. Oh, it's Addison Martin for an and 1. She'll have a chance for a 3-point play. She's got all the points for Wildcats so far.
When Addison Martin, one of your best scorers on the team, maybe your best scorer down low in the paint, has one-on-one possessioning on the block, how could you not feed the basketball to her if you're a guard? Just excellent job at winning the position battle. Again, just that one shimmy post hook, Addison Martin gets the job done for her Wildcats.
No good on the free throw from Martin, who is only shooting at 65% at the line this year. 8-4. Oh, change that. Michaela Edens, the sophomore out of Plano, Texas. That had a lot of heat coming off of it, but it goes off the window and in. Martin trying to keep going. Misses her first field goal, 2 for 3.
And for Martin, you got to keep attacking the one-on-one coverage that you're getting.
Bella Earl was coming into the year for the most part the leading rebounder. Halfway through this opening quarter, Sam Houston shooting 60% from the floor, 3 for their first 5. Martin's got all 6, meanwhile, for ACU.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Addison Martin, hey, you don't really got to change anything up if your coach good enough on the offensive game plan. Great start to Addison Martin in the ACU.
Allen rising fire. She is really special. 15 points a game. 31 minutes. She does not leave the floor for the Bearcats.
And Sam Houston's a team that if ACU tries to get on a run, Sam Houston's going to have an answer for them.
Zoe Jackson trying to make something happen, and that ball is a turnover. Trying to get it to Martin. Transition look, spotting it up, it's a 3. It's drained, Michaela Woods. Timeout, Julie Goodenough. Sam Houston exploding. A 15-6 lead for Sam Houston halfway through quarter number 1. Abilene Christian down in an early hole, and Julie Goodenough had to call timeout. 15-6. Sam Houston, 5 of their first 7 from the floor. The Bearcats are looking good.
And Sam Houston, 7 points off of the Wildcats' 4 turnovers, having the discipline and recognizing that, hey, if we turn the ball over, 1, that's not okay, but 2, Sam Houston is going to have an answer for them and pay. We saw it here before that timeout.
Addison Martin, meanwhile, has all 6 points for ACU. Bella Earl trying to change that with a 3. Ball tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with ACU, but the Wildcats are 3 for 9 to start, and they've missed their first 4 3-pointers.
And as a shooter, you gotta keep, again, having the confidence when you're catching the ball on the perimeter, especially if you're wide open. In the back of your mind, they say that the best shooters have the worst memories. If ACU and the perimeter players can establish that here, they can really get into a groove.
Backdoor is Bella Earl trying to get involved. Couple of misses on that trip for number 3 in white. Sophomore out of Corinth, Texas. Meanwhile, Sam Houston doing a good job of turning defense into offense so far, forcing 4 turnovers. But as they've been all season long, they've also turned it over 4 times. Here comes Woods. 5 to shoot it. Seaton trying to convert at the end of the shot clock, could not. Thought maybe there could be some type of transition. Fast break for ACU. No, offensive foul, Maddie Miller. Miller will leave with her second personal foul. Claire Graham checks in for ACU.
And for Coach Goodenough, you got to look at your bench. You got to look at your substitution pattern and say, okay, one of your best shooters, one of the best veteran players on this team is in foul trouble early on. You got to adjust. You got to see who's going to be on the floor right now when I need perimeter jump shots. Let's see what she does here with this 5-woman lineup.
Kaylee Jefferson back out there, wants a 3. Yes! Kaylee Jefferson, the redshirt junior. Just a 25% three-point shooter for the year.
And nearly averaging 10 points per game for Sam Houston. Sam Houston is a ball club that you don't want them to get hot. And again, Sam Houston is a really balanced offensive attack, turning defense into offense. ACU's got to tighten up.
And Sam Houston is under 30% for the season from distance. Langstaff 0 for 2 from downtown. A 12-point Sam Houston lead early on. Charge at this end going on Michaela Woods.
The second charge drawn by ACU. ACU women's basketball, you love it. You see it on their social media, the charge wall, doing the little things correctly, turning defense into offense, creating more possessions, and honestly establishing the momentum. ACU's 0 of 5 from three-point land. They need some answers, maybe that charge, and if they get into better offensive progressions, they can find the spark here.
Claire Graham took the charge for the Wildcats, and a carry on Earl. It's a turnover, and it's number 6 for ACU in the first quarter. Currently, it's an 8-0 run for Sam Houston in over 2.5 minutes. First time these two teams are playing in Moody Coliseum since 2020. Abilene Christian won 94-91 the last time they played in this building. Jefferson turns around and scores. Sam Houston is well on their way to over 80 points, 20 in the first quarter.
Well, Sam Houston wants a little bit of a rematch of that high scoring. ACU is going to have to pick it up to match that.
Harjo, no good. Jefferson hit a 3 last time. Now goes in the paint, Bautista. Catch and score, timeout ACU again.
Timeout ACU.
Second timeout of the quarter for Julie Goodenough and her Wildcats. And the Bearcats have come out swinging here tonight.
It's the energy. You talk about, again, we're seeing the X's and O's play out on the hardwood. We're seeing Sam Houston 12 points off of the Wildcats turnovers, which is 6, and establishing the momentum early. That's one of the keys to the game here for Sam Houston. And for ACU, you're back in Moody Coliseum. You just finished playing a tough road stretch. Just calm your nerves a little bit, get back into the rhythm. First game in Moody Coliseum of the new year in 2023. You know who you are offensively. Get back to that. Defensively, you know Sam Houston can get into a rhythm and can get hot. Cool them down here. Let's see if Julie Goodenough and her coaching staff can draw something up good to end the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking a 3-minute, 40-second scoring drought for Abilene Christian. It's right now a 12-0 Sam Houston run. It's fun to watch these Bearcats get up and down the floor, really. I mean, they're fast, athletic, and they can take the ball away at a really good rate. Zoe Jackson running point, and she is fouled by Brianna Block. The true freshman out of Texarkana, Texas. And a substitution, Shanti Henry checks in. The 22 in black. Junior out of Wichita, Kansas. ACU going with both of their point guards, Thornton and Jackson, in the final minute of the first. Try to lob it, Harjo, and Langstaff. Gotta go, she'll turn, it's an offensive foul. Did they get the hook? They're calling a hook on Langstaff, returning the corner.
We see it here, Langstaff catching the ball, driving to, again, we see it right here, that left-hand hook. That's a no-no on the offensive side. ACU trying to figure something out in half court. Maybe they can rely on their transition buckets to get some offensive energy going.
Henry into the game and driving. 10 to shoot it. Good ball movement here. Jefferson for the lay-in. Well executed in the half court. A remarkable first quarter for Sam Houston. They are only outscoring their teams by 20 for the year in the first quarter, and they have an 18-point first quarter lead here on this Thursday evening. 24-6. WAC basketball on ESPN continues after these messages. Tuesdays on ESPN Plus, get in-depth coverage of all things Abilene Christian women's basketball. It's the Julie Goodenough Show presented by ACU TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Start of the second quarter here in Abilene, Texas. All Sam Houston 24-6. Zach Carlisle with Joseph Chapa. Glad you're with us tonight. An impressive first 10 minutes for Sam Houston on the road.
For ACU, you got to think to yourself, what do we do if the half court's not working? Well, beat Sam Houston with their own medicine, rely on transition buckets and turning defense into offense.
Another drive and score. It's Henry. And a 20-point lead for the Bearcats. It is now extended into the second quarter as now a 16-0 run. This game was 10-6. Aspen Thornton trying to make something happen. Stops the bleeding with a rise and fire pull-up.
And sometimes getting to your mid-range jumpers and running those actions around the mid-range is going to be what's going to work.
Charge at this end. Well, wait a second. They may change that call. Are they changing it? They are. It's a defensive foul. Originally, I thought they were signaling charge. They reversed it to a block.
It looked like when we saw the replay there, you look at the restriction area when you try to jar a charge. And again, I think she was just a little higher from the restriction area. One of those 50-50 calls from the referees that you got to look back at via replay, see it over and over again, and judge from there. But another trip to the line for Sydney Kemp, Sam Houston.
As Rava Justice looks on, looking for her 71st win at Sam Houston, and she's 2 wins from 100 in her 7-year head coaching career. A 20-point lead. ACU has not reached double digits yet for the game. Thornton, you got to get her involved. It's not going to count. Offensive foul. Malia Langstaff did not like that. She's called for the illegal screen.
And that was a good play. It's called a stagger screen. Stagger means to Langstaff and a Harjo screens for Thornton to get a wide open jump shot, but none of that can happen. None of that can come to fruition if you move on the screen. Disagreed with the call, but again, one of those things that you have to hone in and lock in on the little things, pay attention to detail to come back in this game for the Wildcats.
Here come the Bearcats again, up 20, and out of bounds it goes after the air ball, but they are trying to add to that again. Wait a second, Jefferson, it's an offensive foul. Well, there's been a million of them so far. That one's called on Henry.
Great hustle right there from Sam Houston, trying to feed it down low. There we go, just walking to the rim. A lot of activity there going on for ACU. You think about it defensively, you got to know who you're guarding in the man-to-man coverage. If you're playing a zone, you got to know your area. ACU just got to lock in, pay attention to detail, do the little things correctly. You'll find yourself come back from this 20-point deficit.
ACU trying to look for answers. Addison Martin, yes, and ACU needed that.
8 points for Addison Martin, maintaining that position. And again, Sam Houston just giving her an isolation, one-on-one coverage. Feed the basketball to Martin, good things will happen.
Wildcats get a stop at this end as well. Claire Graham in transition, her 3 no good. Woods with the board. Well, and then ACU took it away, and a foul called on Woods. Zoe Jackson wreaking a little havoc.
Just a great awareness and rate right there from Zoe Jackson to get that loose ball, get the steal, create some energy. That's really what she's known around the ACU women's basketball program, is her energy on and off the floor. In times like this, when the Wildcats need a spark, they need something to come alive on both ends of the floor. Zoe Jackson providing that here at the charity stripe.
Jackson no good on the first one. Zoe Jackson, a sophomore out of McKinney, Texas, in the Dallas area, and a transfer from Butler, spent last year up there. Played in 27 games. Could not make a free throw that time, and the deficit sits at 18 for Abilene Christian. Little floater, China Allen got it. She's tough to stop there in the half court.
And she's the type of scorer that when she gets to her spots, she is dangerous. ACU's got to recognize that she's going to try and get to that mid-range, get to those driving angles, limit those. You can limit China Allen's production.
Jackson on the move. The right hand couldn't finish. Harjo. for the offensive rebound. Thornton. That one falls short. Another fresh 20. Third chance for the Wildcats. And they'll get a fourth opportunity. The jump ball stays at this end. And now you're talking ACU 5 for 20 from the floor. They're just not making shots right now.
You gotta draw up specific plays against the Sam Houston coverage, and what Sam Houston does a great job of is the head on the swivel. If the ball moves from the weak side to the strong side, to the left, to the right, they're aware. ACU has gotta make quick decisions, fast ball movement, set those good hard screens, run a pick and roll action, get something going here, down 20 here in the middle of the second quarter.
Claire Graham, fade away. I mean, you're talking about an 0 for 4 trip right there for the Wildcats. Seton, charge. I have said the word charge in this first 14 minutes more than I might have ever.
And that's the identity of ACU defensively, creating more opportunities on the offensive end. But like you alluded to, Zach, on that previous offensive possession, 0 of 4, trying to get those second chance points, getting those offensive rebounds. ACU's got 4 in the game already coming from that offensive possession. You just got to capitalize on those good looks and those good chances.
A 20-point Abilene Christian deficit. Harjo trying to add to that. Now a foul on ACU. Goes on Thornton. What are you seeing in particular? Because it feels like it's at this end for Sam Houston defensively that sparked this good start for the Bearcats.
And they're locked in. They know what ACU does offensively, especially early on. That's why they were able to establish the early energy and momentum. Just the quick hands, the awareness, the pressure putting on ACU to make quick decisions with the basketball, similar to what the Wildcats did there, closing out hard and quick, forcing and trying to get those points off of turnovers. ACU, if they can replicate that, we can see start of a back and forth match here in the middle of the second.
So we approach the 6-minute mark of quarter number 2. Allen got behind. It's a wonderful pass. Just a spectacular pass from Block, and Allen able to finish it. Graham feeding Thornton. Uh-oh, travel. There was a lot going on in the paint there, and Aspen Thornton tried to pass and just got caught in the paint.
And that was the start of a great offensive possession for ACU. And I think if you look at for ACU, they just exposed Sam Houston's defense. It's the principle of 2-on-1, drawing 2 defenders, creating someone open on your team. They did that there. Just a travel violation ruined it. If they can get back to that, they can get into a rhythm offensively.
Seton trying to get around the corner. Loose ball and a turnover. We have seen 18 first half turnovers combined, 9 for each side. And another foul. This one's on Block. Thornton trying to get around.
Foul on Americans, number 23, Brianna Block. That is her first foul, team's
For Block, that's foul number 3.
Number 13, Taylor Jefferson, and number 22, Shelby Henry.
Woods has 2, by the way. And she's on the bench as well right now for the Bearcats. Thornton fouled, hits the deck hard. She'll shoot a pair. She'll do it when we come back as Sam Houston has built up a 22-point lead on the road.
Number 5, China Allen, her second foul, team's 5th.
Well, this is quite the development here in the first half. Under 5 to go until the break. 32 points for Sam Houston's one thing, but just 10 for Abilene Christian.
Taking the life out of ACU was the #1 thing on Sam Houston's game plan. And again, Sam Houston turning defense into offense, but also just converting on the offensive end. They've done a great job at just providing that balanced attack. I mean, just checking all the boxes, Zach. Just a great performance here against the Wildcats at home.
Thornton, no good on the second. Hits 1 out of 2. The 22-point lead, it's now 21, was the largest of the game for the Bearcats. Sydney Kemp got around the corner, and this is really good offensive half-court execution right now for Sam as well.
And they took advantage of the miscommunication, the defensive breakdown from ACU. You saw there on the top of the key, Martin and Langstaff talking about who's going to switch, who's going to pick up the defender. And right there, we see Addison Martin hitting the jumper, already 8 points. She's been a good offensive piece here against Sam Houston.
They need number 12 with the way this thing has been going. Double-digit performance for Martin again. Seaton could not convert it, and a foul. The reach in on Renee Smith, number 14. Called for the personal, that's her first. A 21-point lead, and we're in the bonus. Just 3 fouls on ACU, 5 on Sam Houston now, so bonus the rest of the way for the Wildcats in the first half, and it's Martin to the line.
And Zach, as we've seen in these previous half-court possessions, Addison Martin getting one-on-one positioning down low. Help defenses not coming in, they're not doubling. Why not just keep feeding the basketball to Martin until Sam Houston adjusts? Let's see if Coach Goodenough and ACU can make that adjustment here in the second quarter.
A 20-point lead now as Martin splits a pair, and Abilene Christian is just 2 for 7 from the foul line in the first half. Two-man game, Batista. She's been good for a while, the senior out of Orlando. 85th career game tonight for Madeline Batista. She's been around a long time.
And she knows what it takes to build a successful basketball program. For Sam Houston, knows the ins and outs as a veteran. Her and Raven Justice is doing a great job at Sam Houston program.
Martin and Thornton have the 16 total for Abilene Christian.
And they're the two players that coming off of the road split weekend who are really having the hot hand, and they're staying consistent here. Look for them to have an even bigger impact here with less than 3 minutes in the second quarter.
Jefferson and Kemp is such a good distributor. Batista trying to go up for a jump ball. They'll just lob it up to the 6'2" Madeline Batista. She's fouled.
Great post entry pass. That helped defense a little bit too early right there from Bella Earl trying to pick up the charge. Again, you've said charge a lot here tonight. They're trying to, I think they're listening to the broadcast, trying to hear that one more time. But again, for ACU defensively, it's just communication. That sounds so simple, but you got to know who's switching, who's picking up here, who's got ball, who's closing out. If they can do a better job at that, we'll see better defensive half-court execution.
Well, they were trying to double check on the foul count. It's foul number 4 on Abilene Christian of the quarter, so no free throws. It is the inbound on the baseline, and it's Jefferson. Tapped around, and a foul here. That's an important part of this game because of how good Sam Houston has been this year on the offensive glass.
And for ACU, again, both of these teams, Sam Houston, I mean, we take a look at the numbers for Sam Houston, 14th in the nation in rebounds per game. I mean, that's insane. I mean, for a team that's very fundamentally sound, you crash the glass a lot, 46th in the country in rebounding margin. You take a look at the Wildcats, 81 in the country in rebounds per game and 16th in the rebounding margin. Both of these teams know what it takes to be physical, but Sam Houston, like you alluded to, Zach, they can get it done. ACU's got to match their physicality to come back in this game.
Yeah, 45 rebounds
That's
per
crazy.
night for Sam Houston. Martin and ACU trying to chip back into it. They've cut it in half, 36-18. This final 240 feels vital for ACU. Sam Houston trying to blow this thing open before halftime. Loose ball off the feet of Adriana Djokovic. Out of bounds it goes to Abilene Christian, and for Sam Houston, turnover number 10.
Just driving in, Malia Langstaff trailing on the hip of Sam Houston's players right there, but you got to capitalize on these turnovers for ACU, even though Sam Houston's in a full court press, playing up tempo and trying to get in as much points possible before heading into halftime.
It's a great point. Turnovers are nearly even, 10-9, but the points off of 14-3 in favor of Sam Houston.
That's a wide gap, and Sam Houston, everything that they're doing, checking all the boxes. ACU, let's see what they can do here in the 2-minute drill in the second quarter.
Right at 2 minutes to go. Fade away from Edens, we have a foul. And it's bonus time now for Sam Houston, and the foul goes on Addison Martin for ACU, her first.
ACU does not want to send Sam Houston to the free throw line. Sam Houston, perfect, 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. Let's see if they can keep that streak up. You don't want to commentators curse for Sam Houston, but for ACU, slowing the game down, seeing what you can do offensively to get back into the ball game.
I'm holding you to it.
Oh, yeah.
Is Julie good enough looks on?
I think she'll replay this broadcast and the players as well and say, oh, well, that's why the commentator's curse happened there.
2
and
for 2 for Bautista.
they remain perfect, Zach.
Lead back to 20 for the Bearcats on the road. Martin turning. Already 10 points in the first half for Martin. Couldn't add to her total.
And just keep feeding the basketball to her in the low post, even though she missed right there. 5 of 7 on the field, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe. Keep feeding her the basketball.
Turning, and another foul. No, it's offensive. It is offensive. They get Bautista off the ball. Yes, it is. It's Bautista called for her first personal.
Coming off of one of ACU's players just kind of caught in the screen in the in-between area in the paint and just get caught there on an off-ball foul. ACU's got to capitalize. Only 3 points off of turnovers. They have to increase that here to gain some late momentum.
Minute 20. Half-court execution for the Wildcats. Langstaff. Abilene Christian's got a third scorer in the game. Langstaff on the board.
Malia Langstaff looking like her usual self with her first points of the night. Moving the basketball. You see ACU against Sam Houston's hybrid zone-to-man defense. If they move the ball well, attract 2 defenders, have someone open, they'll have success there like Langstaff did.
Opportunity, it's in a long 2. It's Sydney Kemp. I thought they were gonna have a 3-pointer. Would have been the third for Sam Houston, but it's a long 2 for Kemp. Miller trying to get her first points of the game. Can't do it. Sam can hold for the final shot of the first half. A dominant first half for the Bearcats.
To say the least. I mean, you can't really think of a better word than dominant, Zach. Again, on all assets of the game, just a beautiful first half.
And a foul with 1.6. Two free throws on the way. Bella Earl called for the foul, and Kemp to the line. Claire Graham will check in. So the foul on Earl, and this will be Kemp to shoot. And two shots coming for Sydney Kemp, the redshirt sophomore out of Kansas City, playing in her 65th career game. 63% at the line is Kemp this year. And they will take their second largest lead of the game, more than likely into the locker room. Final seconds. Oh, that almost went in for Thornton from half court. But Sam Houston with a 42-point explosion and a 22-point halftime lead. And we'll have halftime and the second half coming up after these messages.
Go Wildcats!
Second half coming up in just a little bit. It is all Sam Houston on the road here in Abilene, Texas, leading Abilene Christian 42-20 at the intermission. And as we get ready to go for the second half, we welcome you courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle with Joseph Chapa, and I was really impressed by that Sam Houston performance in the first half. 42 points, and their defense was really good. And at one point, a 16-0 run in the first half for Sam Houston.
Sam Houston's New Year resolution in 2023, dominate early on. They did that here against an ACU team, 0 of 8 from three-point land, 30% from the field, just capitalizing on the Wildcats' weaknesses.
Yeah, they did a little bit of everything right. As we take a look at the first half stats brought to you by First Bank Texas. I mean, 15-8 in terms of field goals made. ACU didn't make a three. Sam Houston looked really good, and I was really impressed with what they did on the defensive side of the ball.
So what did we know coming into this ball game? Well, we knew that these two teams are some of the best rebounding teams in not only the WAC, but the country. But we didn't know that ACU was going to come off to a slow shooting slump, and Sam Houston, full court press, pressure defense in the half court, just again capitalizing on the weaknesses of the Wildcats, checking all the boxes, doing the little things correctly. And for ACU, Addison Martin, their leading scorer, just getting the job done in the low post. Look for her to have a big second half if the Wildcats want any chance in coming back in this ball game.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot to like in terms of scoring. It's really been just Addison Martin and Aspen Thornton. That's been the two-headed monster. It feels like ACU's going to need some other scorers here in the second half at some point as well.
And we talked about it in the first half, Zach. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Addison Martin, 5 of 7 from the field. And we go back to this point, Addison Martin, you watch her on the low block on the weak side on the left side, just one-on-one coverage. One, continuing to feed the basketball to her. And two, we saw several possessions for the Wildcats where they're moving the ball really well 5 to 6 to 7 times. They're attracting 2 defenders. And I'm not a mathematician, but if you draw 2 defenders, you have one of your teammates open. If you can follow that principle offensively, you'll find early success.
Well, they started the third quarter, but they did not start the shot clock, and so that should have to be at 26, I imagine. If 4 seconds come off, I can do the math there. I'm also not a mathematician,
there we
but
go.
We can do that, and off we go with the third quarter from Moody Coliseum. ACU got it under 20. Thought maybe the final couple minutes would be really big for ACU, but Sam Houston extended it back out to a 22-point halftime lead. Offensive rebound to the ground and a timeout called by Madeline Bautista. Timeout on the floor. And Sam Houston with the early timeout after the rebound. They lead it by 22. Back in Abilene in a moment. Abilene Christian with a steal off the inbound, and so ACU has it coming the other direction. As we get going in the third quarter, it was a loose ball and a timeout was called by Sam Houston prior to the break. And that's what sent us to our first media of the third quarter. ACU turns it over on the opening possession of the second half. And in transition goes Kaylee Jefferson. And Jefferson has 9 points for the game, coming off of an 18-point effort last Saturday against Seattle. This end has been very challenging for the Wildcats. This is where it's been successful. Go into number 12. Addison Martin will get it going. 15 for Martin.
Just keep feeding Martin the basketball and cause Sam Houston to adjust. Cause them a double team. You'll have one of your jump shooters out on the perimeter wide open. Good offensive possession right there from Martin.
22-point lead once again for Sam Houston, doubling up the Wildcats. A three on the way, no good from Kemp. Bautista offensive board. Over 500 rebounds in her career, inching closer towards 700 career points. Been around a long time. Martin, in year number one, the redshirt freshman, 17 for number 12.
When the defender is fronting you like that, causing you to try and get that lob pass over you as a defender, that is just easy buckets for Addison Martin, utilizing her body and her position. Just a great outing, 17 points for the forward.
Does that count? Yes, it does. And one, Sydney Kemp. They are going to count that as a chance at a three-point play.
Well, we see it here coming off of a sideline and top of the key pick and roll. Kemp just driving straight left. It was that help defense, and then also just going up with the right hand. Just a careless foul, shooting foul from the Wildcats. And those things add up, even though it's early in the third, those add up as you get late in the third, and of course, the big fourth quarter.
And the foul was on Thornton. It's her third. They're going to leave number one on the floor for the Wildcats. 3 personal fouls. Langstaff, that's a nice little move to float that up. That's good length from number 4.
And she may not be having, she did not have her best first half of the season, but just recognizing who you are as a basketball player, averaging nearly 11.5 points per game for the Wildcats. Just continue to stay confident, staying mentally tough for ACU. They can come back in this game.
Where do they look at this end? Langstaff. ACU has not made a 3 yet. And now a foul on the rebound attempt. And the foul goes on Abilene Christian. It's on Addison Martin. Julie Goodenough, not a fan of that decision.
Coach Julie Goodenough really has to adjust her rotations. Thornton with 3 fouls, then you have Earl, Langstaff, Miller, and Martin with 2 fouls each. You got to be disciplined as a Wildcats team here in the second half.
Allen off the double screen. China Allen in the first half, 10 points. Martin got the takeaway. Thornton on the bench now for ACU. Zoe Jackson runs point. Jackson for 3. ACU's got their first triple. They're going to need a few more of those here in the second half.
Well, with her steal in the first half, and now her 3 just providing that spark plug and that energy that ACU so desperately needs here, finding answers in the second half.
Two-three zone for the Wildcats. Jefferson short on the 3. And the foul over the top on Renee Smith. Going for the board.
Number 14, Renee Smith, her second foul.
Kayla Woods in for Sam Houston.
Back in now for the Bearcats is number 4, Michaela Woods.
It feels simple. Abilene Christian's going to have to shoot it better from the outside to have a chance to come back in this game down by 18. Martin turning around again. She's got a new career high with 19 tonight.
And one way to not allow ACU into this game is to take away the three-point line and just allowing, because as a defense, you're going to give up something. Give up the twos, stay away from the threes.
Foul. It is on Sam Houston offensively. And it's on Renee Smith. Her third personal.
Right here, great ball movement from Sam Houston, but trying to Renee Smith, maybe setting an off-ball screen or something off of that action. And those fouls are picking up between both teams here in the third.
They're going to go review this. I think they're going to take a look. They are going to go, I imagine, to the monitor to review the foul. We'll see if we can get a look. We got official word. The ruling on the floor is a common foul. They're looking to see if it needs to be an intentional foul.
Well, let's take a look at it here. Trying to win position on Addison Martin, but see it right there, that left arm just trying to tug in, fighting for low post positioning. And the question is, was it intentional? How far can you go from that, from a common foul? You've established that, but how far does it go? And that's really the question that remains here. As we see it again, just trying to push, maybe push. You want to say maybe because, again, the referees are reviewing that intentionality and maybe a little bit of that elbow, and you're just trying to figure out what was Renee Smith trying to do on that play against Addison Martin. You know she's trying to battle for the ball in the low post, but you don't do that like that. You do that with your arm bar. We get a great angle here from our ACU TV crew, and just right there, that left arm, we see the elbow, and that was an awesome angle right there from our ACU TV replay operator. Renee Smith with the left elbow right there near Addison Martin's neck. Again, just trying to fight for that position with that inside right foot pivot, but you don't do it like that, and so you roll it as a common foul, but you try and question the intentionality of it.
Yep, they are going to stick with the ruling of common foul on the floor. So they'll stick with the foul on Renee Smith. They will not upgrade the type of foul. Well done by our crew. And so it is a foul on Sam Houston. ACU with the possession, down by 16. Feels like a big couple of minutes coming up right here for Abilene Christian.
This is the crunch time, and we're not even in the fourth quarter. I think about it, that last play, Zach, man, what would we do without that replay angle? I mean, that was just great. Great stuff from our ACU TV crew out in the Orr studio.
Foul at this end. It's on Kemp. Just her first of the night. Off the ball. Langstaff off the catch. And sometimes you get good looks, and ACU's just not making them tonight. Sam Houston shooting 57% from the floor. ACU 39%. Half-court execution. Allen, left hand, dynamic finish.
And China Allen just makes those difficult shots, whether inside or outside, so easy. It's like, I can do that in my front yard with my basketball hoop. No, I can't. I'm not a Division I basketball player. She's just a terrific and elite scorer in the Western Athletic Conference.
Jackson trying to get it back. The good front by Bautista. She's a difference maker inside. Crossover, step back. It's Michaela Woods. Couldn't bank it in. Earl's back there behind everybody, and she will lay it in. Contested.
And her first points of the night. ACU, one of the few times they really push the tempo here in transition, and they get rewarded for it.
Bautista might have been blocked. Langstaff might have got her fingers on that one. Down 16 once again. Martin, it's a foul. Bautista went for the block. She'll be called for her second personal. Timeout on the floor. Back to Abilene after this.
We have immediate timeout on the floor.
Abilene Christian trying to chip away at this thing. A 16-point difference here. We're in the third quarter with 3.5 to go. Sam Houston in front. ACU is as close as they've really been in a while. 15 points now with Addison Martin at the line. That's a lot of brain power right there. Julie Goodenough and Erica Lambert, head coach and associate head coach. But Addison Martin's having herself a ridiculous night, and Abilene Christian's back within 14. Pressure in the backcourt. Sam could not get across in 10 seconds. Violation on the Bearcats.
And with that coaching brain power with Coach Julie Goodenough and her coaching staff, we're seeing here they're providing the energy, telling their team that, hey, we know who we are. Let's just, you want to calm down a little bit, yes, but also you're running your sets, you're feeding Addison Martin, feeding the hot hands, and she's had a great start to WAC play.
Foul on the bump. It'll go on Alexis Seaton. A grad student out of Fort Worth, transfer from UC Irvine. To year off. In year number 1 with the Bearcats, number 15. That's already foul number 5 on Sam Houston here in the third, so it's bonus the rest of the period. Maddie Miller to the line. Maddie Miller coming in. She is now in the scoring column. 935 now career points, making 936 as she inches closer to that illustrious 1,000-point plateau.
So we might have 2 graphics and 2 storylines later in the season in our broadcasts. Is not only is Coach Julie Goodenough in reaching career history with her career wins, but Maddie Miller as well, trying to get to that 1,000-point club. We'll see what ACU tries to do.
You're making both of those graphics, right?
I'm going to do it all on my own, learned it. I mean, I'm going to win an Emmy for it. I'm calling it right now.
10 to shoot it. Ball has stayed on the perimeter for the Bearcats, and Thornton took it away. Here comes Aspen Thornton, and she might have been altered on the layup attempt, but Claire Graham is there. All of a sudden, it's an 8-0 run.
We talk about winning awards, Zach. Well, I think they're winning an award trying to come up and be a nominee for one of the best comeback games so far in the month of January, playing the game the right way, turning defense and offense. Single digits, my man. They're coming back.
A 15-2 run. It's a 3 for Allen to stop the bleeding, no good. Loose ball, and did that hit the rim? They're saying no, so shot clock violation on the Bearcats.
Now ACU has another opportunity to extend their run. And no, you see it there, did not hit the rim on that replay. Maybe hit a little bit of the net. Shot clock violation for the Bearcats, and another ACU opportunity to extend the run.
Under 2 in the third. Abilene Christian back in it. Outscoring Sam 19-7 in the period. 10 to shoot for Langstaff. What a time for her first 3.
Langstaff for 3.
Game on.
And it's the confidence that Langstaff and other players, including Thornton, Martin, and Graham, the confidence that they're playing with has been the difference maker here in the third.
Kemp, a response unlike any other.
That's what makes Sam Houston such a special team, is that they answer when their opponent is trying to get some momentum, especially when your home crowd here in January is roaring.
Under a minute in the third, Thornton answers with a deuce.
7 points for Thornton, just putting her head down and going to work.
Wow, what a response. Bautista beats the team down the floor for the lay-in.
And now we're just in this back and forth match. Who's going to extend a run? Who's going to create a large run? We'll see what happens here.
And it's Martin for 2 more.
Addison Martin.
23 points for Addison Martin. No shot clock. Bautista, 2 more and 1. I mean, it's left hook and right hook right now. This is awesome.
Man, what a sequence. This is what you come to watch. One of the best games in mid-major basketball. Defense, physicality, but they can also turn up the jets, score the basketball, get in this back and forth scenario. ACU, they look different, man. The energy is there for Sam Houston, just trying to cool them down. And if anyone wants to say about it, it's Kemp, it's Bautista, it's Michaela Woods, it's China Allen and the crew. They're getting it done. Let's see who's going to get and run away with it here heading into the fourth.
Of note, 3rd personal foul on Addison Martin. She's going to leave the game for the last 16 seconds. And so, that's something to keep your eye on. She's been dominant with 23 points. And now a foul at this end. Free throws coming with 9 seconds left.
See here, Thornton off the dribble handoff.
Foul on Kemp. That's her second.
Just trying to maybe argue there if you're Kemp that Maddie Miller and Aspen Thornton maybe bumped into each other, but in the replay, you know, one of those 50-50 calls where it's shoulder to shoulder, it's a really tight dribble handoff, because that's what you do. You know, you're handing the ball off to a guard, it's really tight, it's hard to see when you're handing the ball off, but a trip to the foul line for Thornton, and she makes it there.
Raven Justice getting clarification on the call. That was a foul on Kemp. Free throw no good. Sam Houston, one last chance, up by 9. And it's a block by Rachel Harjo. Well, wait a second, they may check the time. Is that the end of the third, or is there going to be less than a second left? 1.4 rather. So it's a block, so it'll be Sam Houston inbound. They got a chance here with 1 second.
For ACU, not only do you protect the paint for an easy point or a lob, but watch out for a pin down or screen action where Sam Houston can get a perimeter shooter open.
With 1.4, oh well, okay, yeah, 0.4, not as much. They can catch and shoot it. It falls home for Sydney Kemp. Oh, a huge bucket. And they'll take an 11-point lead to the fourth quarter. After 3, 59-48, back to Abilene after these messages. Start of the fourth quarter. It's Sam Houston in front by 12, and they're up 12, not 10, because of what happened at the end of the third. This little inbound and Sydney Kemp able to score at the buzzer.
Never doubt, 0.4, 0.5, whatever it is, in sports, in basketball, we've seen it all. And China Allen just getting the job done there. Again, 0.4, what a way to end the third. That was a back and forth match between both teams. ACU coming back with energy, and also Sam Houston just maintaining the lockdown defense. And here in the fourth, Sam Houston, we've got all the cards, Zach. Let's see what they do here.
ACU got it under 10 in the third quarter, but then Sam Houston had the response each time, and now we're going back and forth, and that was a high scoring. There was 44 points scored in the third quarter alone. ACU outscoring Sam 27-17. Still down by 12. The Wildcats have A lot of work to do, down a dozen, but they can do this thing in the fourth quarter, it appears.
And they did it by, before going into the X's and O's, you think about the mental toughness, you think about the energy that you're playing with, the confidence. I mean, Malia Langstaff, we saw in the first half, she was getting wide open in the top of the key. She wasn't shooting it. In the second half, she got it, she shot it, she made it. So the confidence factor that ACU is now playing with has been the big key difference maker. Let's see what they can do here in prime time fourth quarter.
They had the score off by a point in-house, so things were not correct. Abilene Christian at one point was showed to have 48 points. They actually have just the 47. It was off in the arena, and so it is corrected now. Now they got 49. Zoe Jackson on the move. And Abilene Christian back within 10 as we get going. Zach Carlisle, Joseph Chapa. This is going to be a fun fourth quarter.
And they anticipated it. They set it up for their fans in the third quarter.
China Allen, no good. How does Abilene Christian close off this big, huge deficit? They've been down by as many as 23 tonight.
And attacking Sam Houston's defense. We see it there, Malia Langstaff, the confidence she's played with in the second half. 9 points already tonight. First half, her, Bella Earl, Claire Graham, just really quiet. But now they're just playing with such poise, knowing who they are as Division I basketball players, and defensively, man, they're getting after it. Lots of activity here in this 2-3 zone of ACU.
Back to within 8. And that jumper offline from Jefferson.
Another thing that's different too is Zoe Jackson is pushing the tempo, pushing the pace, getting early shots in the shot clock.
Lob in, it's Harjo, reverse. Back-to-back reverse layups. Don't look now, but it's a 6-point game.
And ACU's got 32 points in the paint, making a living down low. Again, just staying consistent offensively is the way to go.
Into the paint for Bautista, no good. ACU trying to do this. Trail by as many as 24 with a minute into the third quarter. Timeout, Raven Justice. And Sam Houston. 6-point game. This is a lot of fun. Big fourth quarter coming up. Well, we were looking at some of the comebacks for Abilene Christian and women's hoops. Last year they hosted New Mexico State and trailed by 19 points late in the third quarter. And today they trailed by 24 points early in the third quarter. 6-point game right now. We've got a great finish on our hands.
ACU's trying to make history to start off the new year in front of their home crowd fans in Moody Coliseum. Can they do it? We'll find out in 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
6 to shoot it for China Allen. A quieter second half, but a big basket there. Allen had 10 at halftime. She's got 4 now in the second half, and a big one here in the fourth to go back up 8. Wildcats all of a sudden are hot at this end. Langstaff to the line. She's been a big part of it. 9 points here, 7 in the second half for Malia Langstaff.
Again, 11.5 points per game scorer. You get her transfer from Northeastern University and Langstaff. You mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, Zach, is her length, her size as a forward, but also being able to shoot the basketball, getting to the foul line. But she's just been more confident, been more aggressive. And that's what Coach Julie Goodenough says to her players like that. Again, knowing who you are offensively, getting the job done, they got to continue to get it done with almost less than 7 minutes left.
Langstaff 1 of 2 to make it a 7-point difference. Abilene Christian back to the zone. Sam Houston 3 for 8 from downtown in the game. Picked off, trying to go to Bautista, and it's Langstaff to take it away.
And Sam Houston is struggling against the zone of ACU. ACU more aware defensively, especially off the ball, and just communicating really well.
Thornton. Addison Martin, yes. 25 from Martin, her best game in the purple and white by a mile.
All game long, no double teams, no one trying to force her to pick up her dribble. It's been all night long, the Addison Martin show, and hey, she's making history for herself. Now let's see if she can propel her team to history.
Kemp off the drive, a chance for three. Sydney Kemp with big basket after big basket, 20 points for number 0.
Entering the 20-point club here tonight, just maintaining that aggressiveness, getting to her spots, similar to China Allen. There's so much talent for Coach Raven Justice's ball club, and here tonight, it's the Sydney Kemp show as well. 7 of 8 from the field, perfect from the free throw line, a rebound and assist. And she's been all over the place for Sam Houston.
This is a new career game for Sydney Kemp. The redshirt sophomore, 21 points, the most in any game of her career. Her career has not been huge in scoring. She is, for her career, less than 3 points per game. 6 points per game this year, and a monster game tonight with 21.
And she is an efficient player, 48% from the field this season, 42% from three-point land, and she's making a big stride here in her second game of WAC play.
Langstaff no good that time inside. 8-point lead for Sam Houston. Seaton finds Bautista, who missed it from point-blank range. A rare miss from Bautista. That would have been a chance to go up 10. 5-second turnover. Graham held it too long. Jefferson with outstanding defense. Turnover for the Wildcats.
And what it looked like, Graham pushing the basketball, utilizing the numbers advantage. That's just a really hard position to pass for the defense. Again, hands up, maintaining active, yelling, ball, 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 and avoiding that post-entry pass to Addison Martin. Just a great defensive stop from Sam Houston.
Abilene Christian, 9 turnovers in the first half. Just 4 in the second, and that's a double dribble on Kemp.
Swinging the basketball on the top of the key. You see it here trying to drive to the left, kind of lost her dribble, picked it up, and again, that's an easy, goes up and down, that second dribble, and that's 19 turnovers for Sam Houston. A point of emphasis for the Wildcats to take advantage of, create more points off of those turnovers.
Miller, I thought she was going to turn and shoot it. 4.5 to go. 10 on the timer. Miller, powerful and one.
Miller.
Not only can she score the basketball, averaging a career high 11.5 points per game this season, she's an all-around player, but when it matters the most, Zach, Coach Goodenough calls out number 31, and number 31, Maddie Miller, her last year in the purple and white. Go to work when your team needs you the most, and she gets the job done in the paint and at the charity stripe.
Well, that's a big 3-point play. It's a 5-point difference. That would be good if it, that would have counted if it would have went in for Allen. She's going to shoot 2. Takes one to the foul line. China Allen, grad transfer, started at Jones College, then went to Nichols for 2 years in the Southland Conference. Preseason All-WAC second team in her first year at Sam Houston to be having preseason All-Conference accolades. Shows the respect for her career. She has lived up to the billing so far, the leading scorer this season for the Bearcats.
4th in scoring at 15 points per game this season in the WAC, just making noise, being efficient with it too, 38% from the field. Just getting the job done early on in WAC play.
1 of 2, she's right at her average, 15 for the game. 6-point difference. 4 minutes to go, we got a ton of time left. Ball tapped away into the backcourt. Stays at this end, 4 to shoot it. Graham, charge.
Well, it's a volleyball type of possession. Claire Graham, one-on-one at the rim. Sam Houston, great job at drawing the charge. But if you look back, Malia Langstaff standing on an island all alone on the corner on the right side, strong side of the court. If you drive in, dribble drive action, kick out, that may or may have not been the second three-pointer for Langstaff.
Jefferson took the charge, a huge moment in the game. Can they attack the 2-3 zone? We're going late shot clock a lot. Allen, yes! The one-handed runner. 17 for Allen.
That was a tough shot, but that's what she specializes in.
Does that count? Yes! 3-point play chance for Aspen Thornton.
I said tough shots earlier, that off balance coming off of the contact, recognizing that you're drawing a foul off of the hip. And she knows the 2 pointing down and says, hey, that's an and one opportunity. And Thornton 10 points in the game so far, 4 of 9 from the field, 50% from the field, 4 assists, and there she goes again.
Third foul on China Allen as well. 3-point play for Thornton, who's into double figures with 11. Sam Houston led by 24, 1 minute into the third quarter. They lead by 5 with under 3 to go in the game. A big one on the first Thursday of 2023. Rifles one to Kemp. Sydney Kemp, late shot clock, offensive rebound, a fresh 20. Allen, tough runner again, no good that time.
That 2-3 zone has been the answer defensively for Coach Goodenough and her Wildcats.
Martin reverse, 27 for Martin, and it's a 3-point game.
Have a day, Addison Martin. Heading into the 2-minute drill. The lights are the brightest. Moody Coliseum is roaring. Wildcats down by 3, trying to make school history. Let's see what happens here.
Just 8 points in the fourth quarter for Sam Houston. 2 to shoot it. Fade away, no. Offensive board. And these possessions are going nowhere right now for the Bearcats as we approach a minute and a half.
ACU is shot contesting. They're aware and they're talking. They weren't doing that in the first half. It sounds so simple, but when you do the little things right, look what happens.
Kemp, no. Rebound to Earl. These possessions are confusing to me for Sam Houston. They're just holding the ball and they are getting no offensive rhythm and they are not scoring at all. Approaching a minute. Thornton. This place would have went crazy had that gone in to tie it. Offensive board. Here's Earl. Martin. 1-point game.
Just a steady diet of feeding your woman down low, Addison Martin. Near 1 point shy of 30 points. I mean, very impressive.
1-point game. We have had one tie, and Sam Houston has led the entire way. 5 on the timer again. Allen, big shot, no! Loose ball, it's out of bounds to Sam Houston with 16.8. We'll see if they look at it.
And Allen, the mid-range pull-up jumper, she's done that all night, doesn't go. Thornton just hustling for that loose ball and trying to get another possession and keep her team alive, down 1, 16.8 seconds left. Man, we got a classic one on our hands, Zach.
Plays under review to see whose ball it is. The call on the floor, Sam Houston possession. We'll see if we can look at it again. That was a great angle to see if we can tell who that went off of last. Here's another look.
Well, again, that mid-range pull-up jumper. Just trying to get to it there. Lobeck goes to the left. Trying to see who it's off of.
Thornton was in there. Yeah, that might have gone off of number 1, Aspen Thornton. Right here. Okay, so it's tipped. Thornton. They're going to stick with the call on the floor. They are going to keep it as Sam Houston possession. 16.8, which means Abilene Christian's going to have to foul. They've only committed 3 fouls in the quarter, so they're going to have to try to get a steal. If not, go for the foul immediately. They might have got the steal. It's a jump ball. They're going to get a jump ball, and the arrow will stay at this end. That's actually a benefit to Sam Houston. 14.6.
We see on the other end, Coach Goodenough tried to call a timeout as soon as Langstaff dived for the ball.
The issue with that is Abilene Christian never had possession to call the timeout. So you have to have possession of the ball to grant a timeout. That was possession for both teams, and Sam Houston was in current possession of the ball at the time. So it stays with the Bearcats, no timeout for Abilene Christian.
That's a great point, because on Coach Goodenough's and her staff's angle, it was so covered that you couldn't tell who had possession.
So there's the inbound and the foul to get it to 4 team fouls. That's on Langstaff for ACU. That's her 3rd. That's the 4th team foul. So it'll be another inbound for Sam with 13 seconds. So ACU will go for the steal again.
Yeah.
And then if they can't, they'll foul again. They'll get it in. Jefferson, there's another foul. Langstaff's 4th, and that will be free throws. So Kaylee Jefferson will go to the line for 2. 11.6. And she would love to hit a pair to put Sam up by 3.
That's what Sam Houston needs to quiet down ACU, especially their home crowd fans. I mean, the momentum that 19 points in the 4th quarter and 27 in the 3rd. I mean, they have set this up to be a classic one. Let's see if they can close out and finish.
Kaylee Jefferson now with 10 points in the game with that free throw. That one was big, this one bigger. It is a 2-point game. Timeout ACU, and they can advance it into the front court. So the Wildcats will have it down by 2 with 10 seconds to go.
And Zach, Coach Goodenough in that huddle. You bring out the clipboard, and what do you draw up? You got 10.8 seconds. Sam Houston has got 2 timeouts left. And we'll see what happens here. You want to, number 1, if you're making a list of things, you're thinking about Addison Martin, 1 point shy of 30 points, 12 of 14 from the field, just getting it done in the paint. But also Malia Langstaff has also been confident, consistent here in the second half with her 10 points and 7 rebounds. Thornton as well can hurt you from the perimeter. So you've really got some 3 key options for ACU, and who knows, maybe someone like Bella Earl or Maddie Miller will get open.
So Martin's been ridiculous, 29 points, 5 rebounds. Thornton 11, Langstaff 10. Why wouldn't it go down to the wire with these 2 rivals? These 2 teams play in some great ones. The last time they were in this building and finished 94-91, Abilene Christian. This has been a lot of fun.
What a way to start the new year for both of these programs in a competitive Western Athletic Conference when you're using these early January games from your school's winter break for being battle tested.
No timeouts for ACU. The lob is picked off. Oh, a huge mistake on the inbound. And it's taken away. And a foul now. It'll put Sam Houston at the line with 8.5 seconds. Julie Goodenough wanted a foul on Sam Houston. It looked like on the inbound, didn't get it. And this is free throws for the Bearcats.
And you question the decision. Again, you had 10.8 seconds to work with off of the inbounds. Addison Martin near the free throw line. Just tough trying to catch the pass. Again, trying to get the foul, but again, maybe you pass it to a guard and then you feed it down low to Martin. You question the decision there, but nonetheless, another trip for Sam Houston to the free throw line.
Honestly, that looked like the right call to me. It looked like there was no foul on the inbound and then the foul on Thornton after the steal. China Allen, no good. No timeouts for ACU, so at best, this is a three-point game if Allen hits here. Aspen Thornton, by the way, fouled out, so she's out. Zoe Jackson into the game, number 13. 3-point lead. Abilene Christian has one chance to try to tie. It's Jackson. 2 seconds from way deep. No! And Sam Houston comes on the road, led by 24, and survives by 3 in Abilene.
Jackson, that was a great step back jumper, in and out. That is a heartbreaker. A 3-point basket away from making history, from tying this ball game, sending it into overtime. Just a heartbreaker here for the Wildcats at home.
I mean, that was as good of a game as you will see. And Sam Houston struggled in the second half to score it, but they did just enough, mainly at the foul line there late, to hold on for the win.
And ACU 27 points in the third, 19 points in the fourth quarter. It shows, even though you lost this game, that Coach Goodenough and her team has a resilient group here heading into the middle of WAC play.
That was a lot of fun, partner. Sam Houston wins it on the road 69-66 to get the 6-6 on the season. Well, that's going to do it. We got a doubleheader here on Saturday. Looking forward to that one. But until then, this has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Zach, Joseph, Hutton, and the gang saying so long, take care. Good night from Abilene, Texas.